Today we are fishing with live bait for some spillway monsters. Let's go. Got him, got him. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I just had the biggest bite ever on this thing as soon as it hit the water. Yes, yes, hooked up again, hooked up again. And now we've got our first little bait fish. I think it's got it. Yes, fish on, fish on. What is it? What is it? I don't know. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be fishing with some live bait in hopes of catching some really big fish. I filmed a video here last year, and I might have filmed a couple more before that, but this is the first time I've come here this year, and I'm really hoping these fish are gonna be biting today. We've got this big, deep channel over here beside of me, and we also have this huge spillway back here behind me. Between these two spots, we should be able to catch some fish. The plan today is to use some live worms that I dug up in my backyard to catch some little bluegill. Then we're gonna take those bluegill, put those on a hook, put them on a bobber, and put them on a bottom rig, and hopefully catch some big bass, some big bowfin, and some big catfish. I have caught some really big fish down here in the past, and I actually heard a story from a guy where he caught a 30-pound catfish out of here. And honestly, I believe it. I feel like there could be some really big catfish in here. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt to fish because there's so many rocks. Your bait gets hung up a lot. But if you break off, you just gotta retie again and just hope that you don't get hung up before the fish bites you. So I've got to get rigged up and we have to catch some bait. I do have some worms. We've got to catch some little bluegill. After we catch some bluegill, we're gonna go ahead, throw them on the hook, throw them out here at this spillway, and hopefully catch a dang big one. I'm excited, hope you guys are. Let's go ahead and get rigged up, see if we can catch a little bait fish. Okay, we've got all of our supplies right here. I've got my worms in my little Lowe's Foods Parmesan cheese container when dug these bad boys up in the backyard. I mean, why buy worms when you can just dig them up? You know, there's no point. And I've got all my rods right here. We've got a mock smash combo, 7-foot medium heavy, kicking their bass combo, 7-foot medium heavy, and a mock jacked combo. This is a 7-foot medium light. We're gonna be using this to catch some little bluegill, and then we're gonna use these two big boys right here to catch some big fish out here. I do not have any hooks tied on except for this one, so I do have to get rigged up. We're gonna go ahead and slap on the GoPro for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, we're just gonna pop a little squat right here on this little wall, and we are going to get rigged up. I'm gonna rig up this mock jacked combo first with a little bluegill rig. If you guys do want to check out any of the mock combos, I do have them linked down below. I'm sure a lot of you already have some of these combos, like the kicking their bass combo and the mock smash. The mock jacked is a newer combo, and I have been using the heck out of these things. They are a little bit of a higher end combo, so they do cost a little bit more, but they are totally worth it. It is the best combo you can get on the market right now for sure. We're gonna put one of these little cricket hooks on there. I'm not using crickets today, but that's what we're gonna be using to hopefully catch some bluegill. And we're just gonna put a little bobber on there, probably set it about a foot down. That should be about perfect. And that one is rigged up and ready to go. We're gonna set that one to the side, and let's get this kicking their bass combo rigged up. We are going to rig up a bottom rig on this setup. Got actually a fish finder rig on here. This is more of a saltwater rig, I believe, but basically you've got your little weight. It's got a little slide on there, swivel to a hook. I've got a J hook. I hate circle hooks. Y'all can bash me in the comments if you want to. I know that's what a lot of people use, but I can't catch fish on a circle hook, so we're throwing a J hook. And then I've also got this mock smash. We've got a bobber on here, but honestly I'm gonna take the bobber off because this current is going so much. I just don't really think this is gonna work. I think we're gonna need a bottom rig. So what we're gonna do is, I don't have another one of those sliding rigs, but I'm just gonna take this and we're gonna make a little knot. Get these tag ends trimmed up on here. Bam. And this one is rigged up as well. I went with a little bit of a different setup on here. We're gonna try out this little cylinder type of weight to a hook, see if it works. I don't know if it will or not, but hopefully it won't get hung as bad. That's kind of my hope for that. Since we are rigged up, we are going to go ahead and take the mock jack combo, throw back here a couple times, see if we can catch a couple bluegill. All we need right now is 2 to start off. That way we can put both of our baits out. And honestly, I think we'll catch some pretty quick. So let's go ahead and get out a live worm and see what we can catch. Time to rig up. This water is flowing today, so I apologize if the water is a little bit loud. I'm gonna try to keep it as quiet as I can. Take our little worm, thread him right on up our hook right there, and we're good. This little pool right here usually has a ton of bluegill in it, so literally, as soon as it hit the water, I can't make this up. That happened literally so quick. I don't think we're gonna have any problem catching any bait today, so that's a good thing at least. That was awesome. I don't even know how he knew to even eat it, because that bait was not in the water long at all, but he ate it. And now we've got our first little bait fish. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this rod up, check our drag. What I usually do is make sure my drag's tight, but whenever I throw these baits out, I will actually leave the button pushed. That way the fish can run with it while I'm not watching it. So we'll leave that one sitting there. And while we are letting that one soak, I am going to put my worm back on my hook and see if we can catch another bait fish. And then we'll go ahead and have 2 rods out, and then we just gotta wait. I have caught some good bass here doing this, and also some good catfish. We'll just kind of have to see if they want the live bait, or we may end up having to use a little bit of cut bait too. I'm not sure. Before we get any further into the video, I did want to ask you guys, if you wouldn't mind, be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below. I am currently at 70,000 subscribers, and I would love to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to go down below, leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Let's grab a new worm. This one's kind of worn out. Sometimes these little bluegill and stuff will get picky. They won't eat an old worm, they'll only eat a fresh one, so we're gonna give them a freshie right here. See how they like that. They like it. Perfect bait size. I mean, perfect bait size. Honestly, I'd like for it to be a little bit bigger, but I think that'll work. It'll work for right now. No! Never mind. He's gone. He just landed in the water. Well, looks like we got to catch another one now. The good thing is there's quite a few fish here, so got him. They're literally so small. I wish I could catch bait fish like this every time I go live bait fishing, because this is like the perfect size. You can catch so many different fish on a bait fish this size. You can catch anything from a 2-pound bass up to a 10-pound bass. I mean, anything will hit them when they're like this. So we're gonna throw this one right down here. I've had some pretty good luck in that area before, so we're gonna try it. We're just gonna have to watch these rods, because there's a good possibility they could take off at any second. So and now we wait. I've got 2 baits out, so we have double the odds of hooking up with a fish. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. If it starts taking a while, I may end up taking a little bit of cut bait and using that as well. Use one live bait rod and one cut bait rod, because sometimes These fish are very smell oriented, especially the catfish, but we're gonna roll with these two for right now. We'll give them about 30 minutes and see what happens. And we are already hung up with our first bait. My hook is actually what broke off though, not the weight, which is weird. But that means we need a new hook and a new bait fish. Got him. Got him. That'll work right there. That'll work. Give him a little toss right here. Right off that little corner. See what that does. I like throwing out there to the middle too, but you can see there's a ton of current just pushing down. So with all that current, it pushes your weight and your bait fish right into the rocks, and you tend to get hung up quite a bit. So that's the reason why I kind of come on this side over here and try to throw around the wall and around these rocks, because it tends to not get hung up as bad. All right guys, I've been waiting around a while. I think I'm gonna reel this one bait fish in, and we are actually going to cut this one in half and try to use it as cut bait, just to see if we might can get the first bite, because I have not had a bite yet. We're gonna leave out that one live bait for right now, but we are gonna rig up a little piece of cut bait and see if that will get us bit. Oh, we're getting a bite, we're getting a bite. We're getting a bite. I just had a bite on this one right here, on the live bait. Just gotta be patient. No! Oh man! Well, we just had our first bite and it came off. Oh, I was probably a little bit too impatient on that one, but that was our first bite. It thumped it. So let's catch another live bait fish. We're gonna throw out to that same spot. I saw my line getting tight and then I let the fish eat it. I finally felt him thump it again. But when he thumped it, I set the hook, and I probably should have just waited for him to just eat it all the way, but I didn't. So I don't know if that was a bass or a catfish or what it was, but it was something that was big enough to eat a bluegill. So there we go. Got a little bit of cut bait. We're just going to take it and toss it right out there. Hopefully something will smell it, swim on up to it and try to eat it. I'm hoping something else is going to eat that live bait. I got to be more patient next time, I guess. Just got to wait for him to really eat that thing. So that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, that's a bite. That was a bite. That was a bite. 100%. Still gotta wash my other rod, but we did get bit. He ain't got it no more. So we're just going to leave it in, and I'm going to set it back over here. We'll see what happens. This one right here is almost looking like it's getting a bite. My line's tighter. Oh yeah, it's getting bit right now. Starting to get some bites. Oh, it's turtles. It's a daggum turtle. I guarantee you it's turtles messing with my bait. Because that turtle just came up right there. I think it's a turtle. It is. It's a daggum turtle. That might be why whenever I get the bites, I'm not actually getting a good bite. It's a daggum turtle. That's why. Dang it, man. Dang it. Big old snapping turtle too. Ugh. First catch of the day. It's just not a fish. It's a turtle. He's mad as crap too. Hey. I'm scared he's gonna bite my daggum hand. Oh. That sucker about got my daggum hand. I ain't gonna lie to you. He was close. A couple of times. He was close. Ugh. Man, I really hope I can get bit by something besides a turtle. I'm gonna check this bait and see. It's snagged. And no bait fish. Ugh. I'm gonna keep trying right here. I think there's more than just turtles, but we'll see. That one right there is super smelly. So we should get bit on that pretty quick. That's a bite, that's a bite, that's a bite. That's a bite. I think it's got it. Yes, fish on, fish on, fish on. Let's go. Let's go. What do we got? What do we got? I think it's a cat, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we got a catfish. We got a fish. Yes. Look at there. Let's go, baby. Man, he's fired up too. He really fired up. I'm just happy we actually got one to eat the bait. Let's go. That was on the cut bait, but man, it's been a tough day, so I'll take it. First one of the day. Not a giant, but we'll take it. Our first fish at the Spillway. Let's go. We got a turtle, but now we actually have a fish. We're not gonna weigh this one or anything because he ain't really that big, but we do appreciate you biting, sir. There he goes. We still got one rod out, so we do have to get rigged up again. But that's awesome. We actually got a fish to bite. That is exciting. The sun is setting in about 3 hours, so we've got some time. Maybe they're gonna start biting a little bit better, or maybe I just need a little bit of a smaller bait, just like I had. We're gonna try out the smaller bait tactic, throw this out there again, see if we can hook up again. Hopefully with something a little bit bigger. Still a good fish, probably about 3 or 4 pounds, but we're looking for something a little bit bigger, maybe like 10, 15, 20 pounds. Got us another little piece of cut bait. Gonna take it and just flick it right there, where it was before. Do the same thing. They like sitting on this wall for some reason. And since they like it so good, we're gonna keep the bait right there. I'll say this, if we get another bite on that cut bait before we get bit on this live bait, I might just put cut bait on both, just so we can catch a couple fish. I know this started off as a live bait video, and we did in fact catch some bluegill on live bait, but I was hoping to catch like a bass or a big catfish, like a big flathead on some live bait. But if it ain't happening, then it ain't happening. We just gotta catch them how we can. And now we wait some more. All it is, just a waiting game. I guess I could have brought a bass rod too, but I don't really know if I'd even catch any bass right here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I just had the biggest bite ever on this thing. I just had the biggest bite ever on this thing. Oh, he still got it too, I think. Put some line out, make sure he's got it. Oh yeah. Yes, yes, hooked up again. Hooked up again. Let's go, baby. No. No. What? It just came off. It just came off. My line got knotted on itself somehow in the process, and that fish just came off, and I have no idea how. Dang it. You win some and you lose some. That one right there is a big fat L. This is a long process, but it can be very rewarding. Kind of reminds me of like what the River Monsters guy used to do. He'd be fishing all day just to get one single bite. But when he gets that bite, it's usually a really cool fish. So it's kind of what we're doing. Just waiting all day in hopes we can catch one really big one. I got one. I got one. Feels like a good one too. I'm stuck on this wall. All right, got it out, got it out. Oh, it's a little mud. Look at that. Little baby catfish. So I think this is either a flathead or a mudcat. I'm not 100% sure. Y'all let me know down below in the comments, but he is a little baby one. I will say that. But it is a pretty little fish though. He is very small. A lot smaller than that other one that we just caught, but we'll take it for fish number 2 of the day. See you, buddy. He bit it good. But that is 2 catfish. Well, I guess 2 catfish. Alright, y'all. I think we're about to call it for the day. It's just not happening. But we did end up with 2 fish and 1 turtle. So I guess 3 catches technically. Had a couple that we missed. Don't know if they were fish. Don't know if they were turtles. I do know that 1 was a good fish. But we are going to pick the camera back up tomorrow at a new spillway, maybe 2 new spillways depending on how they're biting. Hopefully they're gonna be biting better there, but we had a decent day today. We'll catch you tomorrow. And we are back for day 2 of the live bait fishing video. You can see I've got a really big spillway back here behind me. This one is actually flowing pretty good, but I still think we can catch some fish here. I have caught a ton of bass here, in the past, just using normal lures. I think we're gonna start off in this little pool right here. I've actually caught quite a few 3 and 4 pounders right here. I do think that there is a bass in here. I don't know how many, but there should be a couple. And then after that, we're gonna work our way up to the spillway. I want to try to avoid that as much as possible because it is gonna be loud up there. You can see the water back there. It is just flowing like crazy. But I do have high hopes for this area. I've already seen a couple bluegill, so catching bait should not be a problem. Let's get some bait on the hook, see what we can catch. Same deal as yesterday. Got some worms. If I can find them. Throw our little worm on the hook. Boom, there we go. Now we just gotta catch a bluegill. That was fast. This one's big. I could definitely use that one as bait, but I want to see if I can find a little bit of a smaller one. So we'll let him live. That should be perfect. That is the perfect bait size right there. Let's go. I did rig up a bobber setup for today because right here in this pool, we actually have some slack current. So this should actually work here. Honestly, I think it's gonna work very well, but we'll see. I'm gonna take it and throw it out right over there. Basically, we're just gonna let him swim around. I actually brought a rod holder today too. So now we got a little rod holder. We just gotta sit there and watch that bluegill and see what he does. And hopefully we get a bass. Usually I catch one right over here off of this big rock. You might be wondering, there's a lot of big rocks. Well, that one big rock over there usually tends to have some bass on it. So, and I may have to put a little bit of a bigger bobber on this fish. I'm not sure, but we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go ahead and move on up here. I know there's fish up here, so we're going. I know it's loud, I'm sorry. All right. The spot that I want to fish is actually back behind me, but there's a guy over there fishing right now, and I don't really want to fish while he's fishing there. Just let him have it. He was there first, so we're just gonna try out here in front of me. I'm not sure if it's gonna be good or bad, but we're gonna at least try it and see. And then whenever that guy decides to leave, I'll start fishing down there some. We'll throw out the live bait first. Let him do his thing. And then I'm gonna get my cut bait ready to go. Oh, that's a bite, that's a bite, that's a bite. Got him, got him. I don't know what we got though. Something on the cut bait. Good fish, I think it might be a bowfin. That was quick too. Oh yeah, it's a bowfin. Oh, good one too. Good size fish. Look at that. Let's go, get him up. Oh no! Came off, right there. Well, we did have him. I was trying to land him on the rocks, but that didn't really work out. But hey, first fish of the day right there, baby. I was trying to get my other rod rigged back up, and in the process of doing that, I got a bite. We're gonna sling that thing back up there, let it sit, see if we can get something else. That was a decent little bowfin right there though, not bad at all. We didn't actually land him, but fish number one was like 2 feet away from us, so I guess we'll count it as a fish catch. Those things do have some gnarly teeth, so I didn't want to like reach down there and grab him, you know. I was gonna try to get him up on the rock and then hopefully land him that way, but it just didn't work out. But we have another cut bait out now. Hopefully we can get another one to bite, maybe a catfish, maybe even a bass. I don't know. We're just gonna fish right here for right now while this other guy is still down here fishing. But after he moves, we're going down there. We should be able to catch some bass down there. The current's just moving a little bit fast here for me to throw a bait on the bobber. So we're just gonna keep throwing the bottom rig for right now. We're gonna see what we can catch. Let's go. All right, y'all, I think it's about time to roll on. We hooked up with one, but I do have another spot in mind I think will be good. My bait's hung up again. So I'm gonna go get it out. And then we're gonna drive about 5-10 minutes down the road to another spillway, and we're gonna try it out. All right, we have arrived at stop number 2 for the day, stop number 3 for the video. This is a much smaller spillway. You can see it right here behind me. A lot more quiet, a lot more peaceful. And I really do think we're gonna catch some fish right here. I have fished with live bait here before, and I had like a 4 or 5 pound bass chasing my bait. And I've also caught some bass here before. So hoping it's gonna be good today. Not sure if we're gonna be able to use a bobber or if we're gonna have to use the bottom rig, but we're gonna try a little bit of both. But I will say, way back here behind me is actually some slack water, and it's deep, because when I walked up here, it was waist deep. So if we can't get on them here, we can always go back down there a little bit below the spillway, see if we can catch some fish. But this spot looks really, really good. I'm hoping we'll get something. We got to catch some bait, and then we're going to try to catch a spillway monster. Give me a little worm out of here. I timed my move perfectly because as soon as I got back to my truck, it started downpouring. So I missed the rain, barely. It stopped. It was just a little light rain, but oh man, what a tangled up mess. All right, there we go. Mug jack combo. Grab my worm. I don't really know where these bluegill are going to be sitting at, but I guess I'm just going to cast around and see if I can possibly catch one, because that is going to be very important. It's getting some bait. I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be hard to catch some bait right here, but back here there's a little bit of slack water. I think I can catch one back here. Got one. Let's go. Perfect bait size. Got our bait fish. Beautiful little bait fish. Let's give her a little toss up there. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck. Oh, it's moving. It is moving. Yeah, that's better. That ought to work. This water is just flowing too fast to throw this. I might take it and throw it out behind me. Just try to keep an eye on it, but I think I'm going to rig up a bottom rig with some cut bait, see if we can catch a catfish or maybe a bowfin or something right here. And then after we try that, we'll go down here to where the slack water is and try throwing this around just to see if maybe we can get a big bass or something. I know there's got to be some around here, but I've just got to get my bait in front of them and not let it drift 10,000 feet. Actually, you know what? Let's just walk down there and throw this bait on this bobber, because there's a good possibility I'm just gonna get hung up again. And rather than doing that, let's just go down here and see if we can catch something the way that we're set up right now, because why not, you know? That sounds like thunder. That ain't good. We need to catch us a fish. Tell you one thing I don't want to do is get stuck out here in a thunderstorm. I'm gonna try to catch one more bait fish, and then I'm gonna take it, and I guess I'm gonna put it on this mock jack combo. This thing is a little bit light for fighting big fish, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I broke all my line off of that other rod, so I'm not really left with a ton of options now. We're just kind of working with what we got. That was quick. There we go. Little bait fish. We've got a cut bait rig rigged up on this mock jack. This is definitely not the best rod for doing this because it is a medium light, but hey, it is what it is, you know. Feels like I'm getting a bite. I just don't know from what. That is a bite. I just don't know what it is. It's got to be a turtle. Gotta be. If it's a fish, it's being the most picky fish ever. Whatever it is, I got it. I just don't know what it is. Oh, it is a fish. It's a fish. What is it? What is it? I don't know. I mean, I had to sit there and let that fish eat it for forever, dude. What we got? What we got? I think we got a catfish, but he's stuck. He's stuck in the rocks. I think we got a cat. Yeah, we got a catfish. Oh my gosh, he's fat. Sheesh. Sheesh. Dude, this might be like one of the fattest catfish I've ever seen that's this size. No wonder it took him forever to eat it. He's so daggone small. He did swallow it though. We landed a fish today. Let's go. This sucker right here has got a belly. I mean, look at the belly. That's Fatty McFatterson right there. That sucker right there is fat. He's fat. Well, there we go. First fish we've actually landed today. We had a bowfin and we had him right next to me, but that is the first fish I've actually landed. Nice catfish. Pretty sure that is a channel right there. Channel catfish. He's so fat too, man. He's so fat. But we're gonna go ahead and release him right here. Let him swim away. He's slithering through the rocks right now. He's trying to find his way. Here, buddy. Here, buddy. There he goes. All right.